Hello everyone and welcome to another Infinity Kingdom guide. This time I'm coming to you with my real voice because I'm having some software problems. I hope everyone can understand what I'm saying and I'll try and speak as clearly as possible. Today we're going to look at talent builds. I have a lot of players asking me what kind of talent should I be running, what development talents, what war talents, what different development talents do I need. So I decided to make a guide series. It's going to be multiple videos, maybe 2, 3, 4 videos on different talent builds that I'm using. We're going to begin with development talents, of which I have 2 different loadouts. I have a talent page 1 for technology wishes, resource wishes at the well fountain of whatever. And we have a talent page 2, which is for dragon and minting. So minting gold at your alchemy lab. As always, comment, like, write down below what kind of content you want me to make more of. What do you want less of? Is there something I'm missing out on? Is there something you'd like me to do in future videos? This is a perfect example of players asking me for content on talents, and I'll try my best to supply it. So, we have 2 arch builds when it comes to development talents. Like I said before, we have the page technology and wishes, and we have the dragon and minting. The default go-to talents for tech and farming, that's the loadout that I want to be running most of the time, because you're often beginning new technologies, and every single day you're gonna be wishing at your fountain. So we want resource crit and we want technology boosts. In addition to that, we want steady income from gold talents, etc. But we're gonna get into each and every line of it later. Right now, we just want to say that this is the default main talent tree, call it what you want, that I've been using for the majority of my game time. So, in line 1 of development talents, we have building speed versus resources. You want to get building speed. It's just pure and simple and awesome talent. As long as you have anything to build, you want to run this. Once you're done with every building level 50, you can move into resource gathering. For the second line, you're going to want to have experienced, gaining a double experience for every time you attack a gnome. This is awesome while you're leveling your immortals. Personally, I prefer to have it running as long as my main and my second march is not maxed. The minute I max my secondary setup, then I swap into resource gathering for typically into grain simply because you're gonna need a ton of grain to train troops for SVS and IB activities. But it's a brilliant talent point. It gives you double XP, so a lot more value for your troops and a lot more efficient AP spend. Moving on, we have gold versus amount of carry load that your marches can have. You're gonna want gold always. Dwellings is by far the best way of obtaining gold. You're of course going to supplement by minting, but the passive income from your dwellings far exceed what you're going to be minting, especially if you develop correctly and prioritize dwellings as quickly as possible. Some players will be very high level and do a lot of infernals and grind their gold this way, but I mean, even if you do that, you're still going to need more gold, and it's just pure and simple a lot better talent. So you're always going to want gold. The next one's more difficult. You're going to want safe and sound, as long as you're farming gnomes hard to max your main and maybe maxing your second. The second that you're not dependent on farming gnomes every day, you're going to want to move into Divine Walker, which allows you to attack for free without saving that precious AP for better activities. And then we move to one of the most important talents for this entire build, technology speed. You're obviously going to have tech speed because this is a tech build. On our dragon build, things are different. Moving further down the line, you're going to have another are we developing or are we maxed kind of decision to make. So if you have all your mortal equipment at max level, then you're not going to need enchanted stones anymore, and you have absolutely no use of pleasant surprise. However, if your mortal's equipment is not max level, you're going to want to stick with pleasant surprise until you get the levels up there. Once you're done with the mortal equipment, you're going to move into either wood or iron resource farming. Which one depends on what kind of thing you're upgrading. If you're primarily focused on building buildings, then you're going to need a lot more wood than anything else. If you're far ahead on buildings, maybe you're already done with buildings, then you're going to want to catch up on some technology, and you're going to need a ton of iron for that. Alright, and then we go to a troop decision. Some players want to conserve resources really badly because they're developing hard and need everything they can. I kind of get that, but ultimately I always want to have training speed because I just spent way too many speed ups for nothing unless I have this talent tree. Reducing the amount of time it takes to create a troop or cook a troop by 10% also means saving 10% speed ups. If you're never speeding troops, obviously you don't have any value out of this, but if you even are just occasionally using speed ups to produce troops at your barracks, then you're gonna want this talent as well. And finally we come to our wish talent. You're gonna want wishes for gaining that additional chance at a wish crit. It's simply just a lot of resources for absolutely no effort. So you're always going to have that, and it's going to be a daily huge gain. You're probably asking, but shouldn't we have the gold talent? We can get a lot more value from minting. We can use less resources to produce more gold. And yes, gold is important. But you're gonna learn that by cooking smart and using our dragon talent setup to line up the cook time on dragons and on forge transmutes, that you can actually swap into dragon talents, begin and cook, and then swap out of it and back to your default talents. Alas, we arrive at the final technology tree. So this is the default talent tree that I've been using the most. We're doing gold, we're doing buildings, we're doing divine walker because my immortals are maxed. We're doing tech, we're doing enchanted stone because I have some equipment on my third march I still want to upgrade. We're doing training speed to save those speed ups, and we're doing resource crit. As for war talents, you're going to want riding fast, survival methods, rank advancement, and domination. I'm not going to go into this too deep. I'm going to put some pure war guides out, but I do want to mention that if you have the levels and the talent points to do it, then especially survival methods and rank advancement are great development talents. You're going to spend less troops farming gnomes, and you're going to have that precious honor gain for stacking your alts up and getting 200-300k for a single attack on your alts. But more on that on a different guide. That's it for development technology tree. This is the default loadout that you're going to be running for the most of your time in Nordheim anyway. Next up is going to be the dragon and gold minting talents. More on that in another guide. Hopefully I'll get it out this week, maybe the beginning of next week. So stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out if you guys hit the bell, subscribe, and spread the word. I'm trying to get as many guides as I can out here on YouTube and on the IK Wiki website as well. And with that, all there's left to say is thank you very much for joining and watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you there.